Mark Twain once said, "Courage is resistance to fear. It's mastery of fear, but not absence of fear." This disease is devastating, but it is also something that can be fought. ALS is a neuromuscular disease which takes over your body. What's happening is the little message center, the motor neurons, the messages aren't getting sent to the muscles, and the muscles are dying. Unfortunately, we don't have a cure, and we don't really have a specific cause or reason why people are afflicted.
I was in the Honor Society when I was in junior high school, and we had to do these spoken presentations, and I did mine about Lou Gehrig's disease. And I remember because I couldn't pronounce amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I thought it was something that you inherited. I thought that old people got it. I didn't think you could just get it. When I started getting symptoms, it wasn't even in my mind. It was symptoms like muscle twitches. I had the weakness that was spreading from one part of my body to another. And I just remember being like completely horrified because it was almost like, you get a feeling that you know something, and even though you might not have all the information. And I was like, I bet I have ALS.
Our mantra is not that this is a terminal disease and you're going to die. Yes, we're going to acknowledge that we don't have a cure, but we are here to at least help people maintain a quality of life through our services and education and recreational and fun programs. The Greater Philadelphia chapter of the ALS Association is successful primarily because of our president, Ellen Phillips, who started this organization over 25 years ago when she found herself alone and dealing with the diagnosis of ALS in her husband, Alan. Through Ellen's efforts and the efforts of her mother, Malvina Charlstein, they band together and they decided that this disease needed support and needed awareness. Malvina Charlstein, with her tenacity, felt that ALS belonged in baseball, so she approached Nancy Giles, the wife of the president of the Phillies, and decided that the Phillies should support the Greater Philadelphia chapter.
We've really been blessed to be involved in the association. I found that getting involved kind of empowered me to do something about this disease that you can't do anything about. For me, the association has benefited me on so many levels.
Often individuals will approach us because they've heard of the disease, or they've met someone, or they've worked with someone that's been diagnosed with ALS, and they want to get involved. They want to help. They want to do something. So having an individual make a contribution through financial resources or to volunteer at an event is a win-win situation. And we also want to make sure that if the person, the individual that's kind enough to pair up with us as well, works for a company that has a matching gift program, that they tap into that matching gift program, which kind of doubles the resources that they provide.
I play football and baseball. 2002. I'm on the bottom. And that means tomorrow. And like a heartbeat in my left arm. And then 2004. And then
ALS is unfortunately an equal opportunist disease. There is not any clear pattern of gender, race, culture, religion. It seems to afflict anybody, anywhere, and we have patients that are as young as mid-20s, and then we have patients that are actually diagnosed in their 90s.
You know the old cliche, this can't be happening to us? Well, that was what everyone thought in our family. My dad was 6'5", 215 pounds, athletic, had a great look and feel to him. When he was 51, he injured his ankle dancing at a party with my mother. And the injury was so severe and so surprising that the doctor said we should take a deeper look at this. And after months of trial and error, it turned out he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. We knew nothing about it aside from the famous name that was given the disease, Lou Gehrig's disease. But what everybody knew about Lou Gehrig's disease in the early 1980s was what they saw in the movie Pride of the Yankees. So we had to learn it from the ground up. By his 61st birthday, he weighed possibly 115 pounds. He was confined to a bed or a wheelchair. What we didn't have in place in the early 1980s was an ALS association, like patients have nowadays. So all of the information was coming from a very small network of people, and everything that needed to be done to support him as he went through this had to be done by a very, very small group of people as well. Fortunately, things are different now. Just over a year before he passed away, he came up with the idea of creating a program that would help patients in the chapter service area to spend as much time at home with their families as they can. That idea and his initial gift turned into what's now known as the Abrams In-Home Care Program.
I think that the Abrams In-Home Care Program affected us, first of all, through the peaceful way that Howard was able to spend his time at home, and we knew how comforted he was to have his pictures around him, his family, have visitors and friends, and to be in his home environment.
According to the patients that we talk to, the letters that we get, the program professionals who administer that program, doing a wonderful job of helping people like my dad stay at home with their families as long as possible.
We want to align ourselves with patients and families so that they never feel alone. That's what's most important, is that they don't feel that there's no hope. We do so much that we want to continue our efforts, and we can't do that without your support.